heavy rain. There's nothing like preparation when it comes to torrential downpour. Isn't that right?
That's right. You must turn off your gas and electricity and quickly evacuate from areas vulnerable to flash flooding.
What should we do if we are already outside?
Evacuate to a safe place, away from construction sites, underground spaces, and areas prone to frequent flooding. If you're driving, do not stop the car. Instead, slowly drive through the flooded area without stopping.
What should we do once the rain stops?
When going into buildings that have been submerged, do not touch electrical facilities and make sure to ventilate, as there is a risk of gas leakage.
We should also reduce preventable damages and prepare for disasters ahead of time by following safety guidelines.
That is correct. You can receive real-time safety information through the Disaster Safety Information mobile app, 안전 디딤돌.
Thank you for all the great information. Remember, your safety is everyone's safety. This campaign is brought to you by BEFM 부산영어방송.
지금 방송 광고라는 부메랑을 던져보세요. 소비자를 향해 정확히 날아가는 광고. 힘차게 돌아가는 경제. 부메랑처럼 다시 기업의 이익으로 되돌아오니까요. 방송 광고, 경제에 큰 힘이 됩니다. 부산 방송광고발전협의회.
The time is now 7 o'clock.
It is still summer, but I felt a teeny bit of a breeze this morning as I came into the office. However, the daytime high, it's still going to be blazing hot. And what do we normally enjoy on these hot summer days? Things like ice cold beverages or desserts. Well, one particular drink that's popular this time of year is beer, right? I mean, who doesn't enjoy a nice ice cold beer after work? Well, I came across this interesting statistic from a German business outlet that ranked the top countries in beer production. So, Germany, well known for its beer culture, has been pushed out of the top 5 for the first time ever. So it used to be number 5. It's been pushed out by none other than Russia, which goes to show you that stereotypes can be misleading. And by the way, can you guess the number 1 beer producer in the world? Without Googling. I'm Catherine. This is Morning Wave in Busan on Wednesday, August 20th on BEFM 부산영어방송. Good morning, Wavers. I hope you're all doing well. Welcome to the program on this hump day. So, I actually gave this quiz to our VFM staff, our producer, and our writers, and even Sajin, everybody. And I said, do you know the number 1 beer producer? And so just in case you're wondering, so Germany used to be number 5, but it's fallen to number 6 because Russia has made it to the top 5. Number 4, Mexico. Ooh. Number 3, Brazil. Number 2, the U.S. And number 1, we're talking about sheer volume, is, that's my own drum roll. Our producer, she didn't prepare one. Well, it's China. China is the number 1 producer of beer. Ooh, meaning, you know, you guys enjoy that little quiz at 7:02 in the morning. So anyhow, I just thought it was really interesting. I wanted to share that with you. And then if you remember yesterday, if you tuned in yesterday, I started the program talking about the rising popularity of K-burgers in areas like the U.S. and parts of Asia. So this K moniker seems to be widening almost infinitely with spending to prove this popularity. According to a major credit card company, foreign visitors' spending has been on the rise. The good news, this is happening outside of Seoul as well. Definitely good news. Shinhan Card's analysis of spending from U.S., Taiwanese, Japanese, and Chinese nationals showed big jumps on K contents, beauty, and medicine-related spending. So we're talking things like photo booths. Who hasn't gone into a photo booth, right? Nail places, singing rooms, and PC rooms. So analysts say that this shows that visitors want to experience like the real Korean lifestyle as they see, in pop culture. And this bodes well for us in Busan because Busan is the city that has seen the highest spending increase by foreign visitors in a year. And we're talking by 39%. That's really good news. When we zoom into hospitals, we're looking at a 97% increase compared to last year and a 68% increase at dermatologists, 피부과. So Busan Metro ran a Pokemon stamp challenge across its subways in collaboration with a local department store and the animation studio. And the Subway Corporation says that they saw an estimated 400,000 people who participated in this challenge. And overall, it saw 1 million extra subway riders last month compared to the same time last year. So we are all about the rising popularity of anything at this point, especially if that translates to stimulation for the local and domestic economy. So kind of good news this morning, right? Well, it's time for our text topic. So here we go. What's a hidden gem in Korea that you want to recommend to visitors? Hidden gem. 자, 내가 한국 방문객에 추천하고 싶은 한국의 숨겨진 보석은? 답이 하나밖에 없는 것 같은데. BEFM. Morning Wave in Busan. Okay, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I'm in that kind of mood today. It's Wednesday. I have a lot of caffeine in my system already. So what would you recommend? So send in your thoughts, your opinions to BFM's live stream live chat on YouTube. And you can find us by going to the YouTube platform, typing in BEFM or 부산영어방송 to find our channel, subscribe, log in, and chat with our other waivers. And also, from your phone, pound 9050 샵 9050. That's going to cost you 101. And you can reach me for free through Kakao Talk. So to find us, same thing, type in BEFM or 부산영어방송, add us as a friend first to send your messages and photos as well. And you can listen to our program in so many different ways, right? So if you're in Busan on the radio, 90.5 or 103.3 FM, depending on where you are in Busan, like I said, we're streaming live right now on YouTube. You can watch again at your leisure. And we're available on the BEFM app itself and also the Papang app. Both are free to download, very easy to use. Let's look ahead to our day together. How about that? So it's Wednesday. First up, we have Lian in hour number 1, Now and Next. Oh, actually, is that yes, that's the name of too much coffee this morning. And then in hour number 2, we have Jennifer with Work in Progress. For our special interview, we're going to talk about the implications of South Korea, obviously the representative being President Lee Jae-myung, meeting with Japan and U.S. leaders. So these are two major allies and partners that we have. So we need to know what's on the horizon at these summits. That's coming up in hour number 2. I'll be back with news overview. It's now 7:07 and this is News Overview. 2 dead in Mugunghwa train crash. 2 subcontracted workers with Korea were killed and 5 others were injured yesterday when a Mugunghwa passenger train hit them in Cheongdo. Ex-Interior Minister Lee Sang-min indicted and under detention. Former Minister of Interior Lee Sang-min will stand trial while in detention for his alleged role in former President Yoon Suk-yeol's martial law declaration. Special counsel summons Kim Gun-hee for tomorrow. The Minjung-gi Special Counsel has summoned former First Lady Kim Gun-hee tomorrow after she submitted a written explanation for her absence for the summons scheduled for today. President Lee Jae-myung meets with corporate leaders ahead of U.S. summit. President Jae-myung met with top business leaders yesterday, thanking them for their work in the trade negotiations with the U.S. and asked them to create concrete results in the upcoming trip to the U.S. Israel demands release of all hostages amid ceasefire talks. Israel is demanding that Hamas release all 50 hostages held in Gaza after it said it will deliver a response to mediators on whether to accept a new ceasefire plan. And this was News Overview. It is now time for Now in Busan. We have Sejin in the studio. Let's say hi first. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I am very great.
Good. Good. So I want to know, first of all, I don't know, our producer is telling us that when you go on the subway and then, you use your card to, I guess, gain entrance, go through the stalls. I guess they have that because of the whole, promotion I spoke of. Have you noticed that?
I haven't.
Oh, 어디서? 광안요. I guess it does this a pika. Or what is it? The meta. I have no idea what they sound like, obviously. Right. Oh, so only at Gwangan. So I don't know. I guess we got to go. Couple of stations. The stations that I've gone to, at least maybe I haven't gone on the subway in about a month, but okay, I will definitely try it and look for those stations. But our text topic today is about a hidden gem in Korea that you might want to recommend to people who are visiting.
I have every confidence in recommending Jeonpo Street.
Yes.
It's all the cafe-lined street and all the put-together people go there.
Put together people, like all the posh, the in crowd kind of people. They're all there.
Yeah, they dress really nicely, and then it's just enjoyable to watch how people dress. And
I see. Like all the hip, trendy kind of like the fashionistas. They're all there. The fashion people, they're there. Hence, probably not there, but anyhow. Thanks for sharing. Apparently, Sejin is one of them. We're gonna jump into our first update. So. Busan just rolled out a new supplementary budget. So this is their third one this year, correct?
Yes, Busan submitted its third supplementary budget of the year to the City Council, totaling 1,088 billion won. That's a 6.2 boost from the original.
Yes. Oh, okay. So what's it being used for? Because, as if it's the third one, obviously it's for something, right?
Yeah, mainly into boosting the economy and easing the cost of living.
Yes.
They're going to pour the biggest chunk, around 934.4 billion won, into consumer coupon program.
Yes.
To spark local spending and support small businesses.
Yes. And so I hear that the Dongbekjeon card, it's getting a boost too, and it's highly popular.
Yeah, it's already been offering up to 7% cashback, but starting next month, they will jump up to 13%.
Wow. Any other highlights?
Quite a few. 10.4 billion won is going into youth rent support program, which now covers 2 years instead of 1.
Okay.
Plus, there's extra funding for services for adults with developmental disabilities, childcare, and nighttime babysitting.
I see. So what about any transportation or infrastructure projects on that list?
Definitely. They're putting in 10 billion won for the Sasang-Hadan subway extension and another 8.2 billion to upgrade the wireless network on the metro.
Yes. So they're even funding, I hear, cultural events and job support.
Yeah, they've set aside 2.8 billion won for things like prepping to host the UNESCO World Heritage Committee in 2026, getting ready for World Design Capital 2028, and supporting job retention and hiring across the city.
Yes, so it does sound like they're investing in broad areas. So thanks for sharing with us all the details. Now we're going to turn to Busan's business sector. There's a new report out about R&D staffing issues. So tell us about this.
Yeah, a new survey by the Busan Chamber of Commerce and Industry shows that nearly half of local manufacturing firms are struggling to hire skilled research and development, short for R&D workers. careers.
Yeah, so what's the reason?
Mainly the wage gap and better working conditions up in Seoul. Local companies just can't compete. 90% of them offer starting salaries under 40 million won. But about a third of engineering students expect more than that just straight out of uni.
Yeah, so there's a clear mismatch in expectations.
Right, and there's also difference in priorities. Companies care about practical experience and training, but students are more focused on salary, hours, and quality of life.
Right, so basically, even if the jobs are there, they're not exactly what maybe young people are after. Did the companies have anything to say about fixing this issue?
They did. They're asking for better talent pipelines, stronger wage support, more industry-university partnerships, and ways to keep local talent from heading to Seoul.
Well, what about the Chamber of Commerce?
They're saying if we really want to build up R&D in local companies,
Yes.
we need policy-level wage support and academic partnership that lead to actual jobs.
I see. Well, I certainly hope they can work this out because we don't want that brain drain, the talent leaving our city. Okay, next. This is regarding Busan City cracking down on unpaid taxes.
Yeah, they've been going after people who owe large amount of local taxes, and it's working. In the first half of this year, they managed to collect over 47.5 billion won,
Okay.
which is way up from last year's 10.5 billion during the same period.
I see. So that's a big jump. How do they manage to do that?
They've got a special team that just focuses on people who owe over 10 million won. Guess what? A city hall alone, they recovered 8.8 billion won from the 7 people.
Oh. I hear that there was a particular case in Hyundai, right?
Yep, a building developer there owed billions in unpaid acquisition taxes. The team found out he was collecting rent from a hotel in the building, so they stepped in and seized the payment. And that alone brought in 6.7 billion won.
I see. Any other examples or cases?
There was also a property owner who hadn't paid a local income tax for over 2 years, even though he could afford to.
Yes.
Soon as they seized the property and put it up for auction, he paid it all off right away.
So I guess they're not waiting around, not anymore.
No. In the second half of the year, they are planning to search more homes of people living in smart houses or high-end car owners who haven't paid taxes.
Okay.
And for the really serious cases, they will even consider detention orders, which are now allowed under updated tax laws.
Right. So it sounds quite serious. And so in all fairness, they have to treat potential tax dodgers fairly, right?
That's the plan. City says it will go after bank accounts, insurance payouts, virtual access, assess it, and even ban people from leaving the country or make their names public if needed.
I see. So yes, once again, that's regarding uncollected, unpaid taxes. Well, moving on, if you're really into books, I know many of you are, or maybe you're just looking for something a little bit different next month, Busan City Hall has something for people who are interested, right?
Yeah, to mark Reading Month in September, the
Yes.
city is running a bunch of book-related programs at their cultural space, 들락날락, which literally means in and out, like popping in and out of
Yes.
cozy reading nook.
Right. So what kind of stuff are they offering?
Quite a variety. There'll be humanities talk for adults called A Stroll Through Picture Books for Grown-ups
Okay.
on September 4th and 11th. On the 6th, there's a book concert featuring percussion music and an event with an author of The Goblin who plays a leaf flute, 풀 삐리 부는 도깨비 풀개비. And on the 20th, there's a performance called Beethoven reads Chagall, 그림 읽어주는 베토벤 마르크 샤갈, combining classical music with illustrated art.
And it sounds really, really lovely. But what about for kids?
Laws. Children can make their own books, decorate notebooks, create bookmarks inspired by The Little Prince,
Yes.
and listen to live storytelling linked to Gender Equality Week.
Oh, it's very interesting. It sounds like hands-on fun too, though.
You can find full details on the 들락날락 website at library.busan.go.kr. If you want to really join in, online registration opens at 10 a.m. on the 21st.
So it sounds a great way to spend the weekend, or maybe, we want to spark that interest in reading in the little ones. So thank you for all the local news. And of course, we'll check in with you tomorrow. Thank you, Sajin.
Thank you.
All right, I'll be back with your traffic and weather.
Good morning.
Good morning.
굿모닝입니다.
굿모닝.
좋은 아침입니다.
모닝 웨이브 인 부산.
Morning wave in Busan.
모닝 웨이브 인 부산.
Major news, local buzz, and expert takes. It's all here on Morning Wave in Busan. Brighten up your morning commute with Morning Wave in Busan.
모닝 웨이브 인 부산.
It's time for your traffic report at 7:18 on this Wednesday morning. It looks congested on the Dongso overpass from Hwangnyeong ramp to the old Gaegeum tollgate. And Nakdong-Namno looks busy from Myeongji ramp to the Gangso police station. And looking slow on Luno-Samsung-daero from Myeongji underpass to Shinho bridge. And also slow on Gwanmun-daero from Bangeum tunnel to Baegang Tunnel. And it is currently 26 degrees Celsius under sunny skies in Busan with a daytime high expected to go up to 33. Still hot. Busan City is under a special heat wave report, 복염특보. Across the nation, cloudy and raining in parts of the central area. Showers forecast for parts of the capital area, plus Gangwon, Chungcheong, and Gyeongnam. Still hot once again across the country with daytime highs expected to go up to 36 degrees in some areas. This was your traffic and weather. It's time for top stories. We have Haley in the studio. Let's say hi first. Welcome, welcome.
Good morning.
Yes, so we're going to dive into this topic. What's a hidden gem in Korea that you would recommend?
So much, but I do agree with Sejin about all the put together people in Jeonpo. I was actually looking for, because that area keeps expanding. Like rent is a thing.
Yeah.
So they keep expanding to like inside, like within Jeonpo. So my friends and I are trying to look for this district, and we're like, that girl's in like thigh-high boots in not the middle of the winter. It's like, follow her. And she actually did lead us to the district. So yeah, look for the put together fashionistas, because they'll take you there. But
Yes.
yeah. Anyways, because I know for like, for a lot of foreigners, Seoul, Busan, and maybe even Jeju.
Yes.
It's like the usual route. I mean, hit Gyeongju while you're at
Right.
it. There are a lot of tourists there too, but then also go west. Because Jeolla area, they are really famous for all the food.
Yes.
And you don't even have to like look up the 맛집, the good places, because you
They're
just
all
go
good.
to the random, like the most random mom and pop store. And they'll give you like dozens of banchan, the side dishes. And
good,
they're
though.
all good.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree. Well, we're going to jump into our first story. It's quite a serious one. This is regarding that 무궁화 train accident from yesterday.
Right, so let's dive into this issue, because 2 people died and 5 others were injured, some critically injured, when a 무궁화 train in Cheongdo, Gyeongbuk province, crashed into workers. And they were there doing safety inspections around the railway. So the crash happened at 10:52 yesterday morning when a 무궁화 train that had left Dongdaegu station headed to Jinju collided into 7 workers who were walking along the railway. So the train hit them from the back. 1 employee out of the 7 was directly hired by Korea, and the 6 were subcontracted workers. 2 of the people who died were subcontract workers. So it seems that they were doing inspections on the flood damages from the recent rain when this accident happened.
Right. And it's been pointed out that this may have been caused by, once again, a safety lapse.
Right, because from the get-go, there were some questions about, number one, why they were by the railway. Because it's been pointed out that when railway workers are on the move along the tracks, they usually don't walk along the tracks themselves, but on the roadbed, which is far enough away from the tracks where they don't have to worry about getting hit by the train.
I see.
The roadbed is called 노반. But experts say that given the fact that the workers were by the tracks when there was a train scheduled to go through, it could have resulted from lax safety management or even a signal malfunction. We're now also getting reports that they had apps and even a walkie-talkie, but it seems that there just wasn't enough communication.
Okay.
The accident also took place on a hill and also on the curved portion of the rail. So that means that the conductor could not have seen the people until the train was right there. Also, the train was an electronic train, which means it was quiet. So the workers, at least according to the fire department, the workers may not have heard the train. The Land Ministry has formed an initial response team in terms of what's going on, in terms of investigations. Multiple facets going on. The Labor Ministry is overseeing things, but the Land Ministry has formed a response team to support the recovery and it'll look into any potential violations of the Railway Safety Act.
Yes.
Also, the Daegu Labor Office has begun investigations of the violation of the Serious Accidents Punishment Act, and the police has also launched an investigation team.
Right. So it's very early going because, we do want to make sure that, the family members are taken care of first. Terrible tragedy. We're going to now move on to former President Yoon Suk-yeol's insurrection cases, where a trial for his additional charges began yesterday.
Right. So Seoul Central District Court held pre-trials of former President Yoon Suk-yeol's additional charges that was brought up by the special counsel. The pre-trial procedures include a hearing of the defendant's pleas, scheduling for evidentiary hearings. The defendant does not have to, so therefore he did not attend the session.
Yes.
So Yoon faces charges of aggravated obstruction of justice, abuse of authority, and fabrication of official documents. So this includes allegedly creating a martial law declaration document to fabricate procedural justifications to his martial law declaration and ordering for that document to be destroyed, allegedly. He also faces charges of having ordered phone records to be deleted from key military figures' phones. By the way, this is on top of ongoing trials at the Centric District Court with charges of him being the leader of the insurrection on top of abuse of authority.
Yes.
However, former President Yoon has refused to attend 5 hearings in a row since he was put under detention on July 10th.
Yes, so that's once again former President Yoon Suk-yeol. As this is going on, the special counsel investigating the insurrection charges has summoned former Prime Minister Han Duck-soo.
Right, so the insurrection investigations are really kicking in. The special counsel led by Cho Eun-seok summoned former Prime Minister Han Duck-soo as a suspect. And that questioning session happened for over 16 hours. So Han faces allegations of having aided and abetted in the illegal martial law declaration last year as the second in command of the government.
Yes.
So his position in the government was important because under the Constitution, the Prime Minister oversees the cabinet and administrative institutions under the president's orders.
Right.
So the special counsel's position is that as Prime Minister, Han Duck-soo was involved in all of the decision-making process and he should be a key conspirator to martial law. He was in fact one of the 6 cabinet members who were first called up by former President Yoon to be informed of the plans.
Okay.
The special counsel is said to have questioned Han over the process of former President Yoon's declaration of martial law and specifically what orders were given before and after.
I see. So once again, this is ongoing right now, and we'll continue to cover these top stories. For now, we're going to move on and talk about the messages the country has been getting from North Korea.
Right, and they have been quite hostile in response to South Korea kind of reaching out, sending out olive branches potentially. So thawing the inter-Korean relationship seems to be a long ways off despite continued attempts from the Lee Jae-myung administration.
Yes.
So the sticking point right now, it's the ongoing Ulji joint drills between South Korea and the United States. So these are annual drills that North Korea has always been opposed to. So South Korean President Lee Jae-myung clarified this week that these drills are not meant to raise tensions nor intended for hostile reasons. However, North Korea has been ramping up its rhetoric.
Yes, and I briefly reported on North Korean leader Kim Jong-un's message yesterday, but we need more information. Let's delve into it.
Right, so on the same day, which is on Monday when the drill started, Kim Jong-un visited the new vessel Cheon-ho, which is a 5,000-ton vessel, and Kim called the joint drills the most hostile and a provocation of war.
Yes.
He used this to justify boosting North Korea's own nuclear capability, saying that the situation calls for Pyongyang to drastically expand its nuclear weaponization. By the way, and we're getting news that his younger sister, Kim Yo-jong, who's a key figure in North Korea, she actually mentioned Lee Jae-myung by name, saying that South Korea cannot be our, referring to North Korea's diplomatic counterpart, that Lee is not a person who can change history. So that's the message we're getting. So pundits say that all of this seems to be in response, at least partially, to President Lee Jae-myung's speech on Liberation Day, where he stated that South will respect the North's regime and not pursue forced unification.
Okay.
So overall, it seems that, at least for the time being, North Korea won't be responding warmly to these intentions to thaw relations.
Yes, and as this is going on, surviving political or ideological prisoners have requested to be sent back to the North.
Right, so these are what we in Korea call 비전향장기수. So those who have been imprisoned serve time for ideological or political activities, including espionage, related communism, but who still stick to that ideology.
I see.
So there are 6 such prisoners who have officially requested the government to send them back to North Korea. This includes 95-year-old An Hak-sop, who is known as the world's longest surviving, quote-unquote, unconverted prisoner.
Okay.
So he's actually said to be in quite ill health, dying from cardiac and pulmonary problems, so heart and lung disease. So An was actually born in North Korea. He served in the North Korean military. He was actually sent to 강화'로 in the 50s and conducted espionage activities until he was captured and served time. Starting in April of 1953, he served a 42-year prison term. He was pardoned under the former Kim Dae-jung administration, but the administration also sent back 63 such prisoners back to North Korea after the historical Inter-Korean Summit of 2000.
Yes.
However, An remained in South Korea, claiming that he will fight here until the U.S. forces leave the country. So this group that's pursuing his relocation to North Korea held a press conference last month and urged the government to send An back to North Korea under the Geneva Convention.
Yes.
So coming back to South Korea's position on this, an official from Seoul said that they are aware of the request. However, nothing has been decided in terms of sending them back or not.
I see. Well, thank you for reporting on that. Let's move to our final bit of news. International news. We left off this segment yesterday as things were kind of winding down at the White House at the Trump-Zelensky EU leaders meeting. So let's get a rundown of what happened.
Right. So things were really happening. Lots of comments coming in, but it seems that in those 24 hours, things were scaled back a little bit. So let's go to what happened yesterday. So we talked about the Trump-Zelensky meeting with a handful of European leaders from the UK, Germany, France, NATO, the EU Commission, and Finland, all at the White House. So things like security guarantees for Ukraine were mentioned. President Trump said security guarantees would be provided by European countries with coordination by the U.S. At one point yesterday, he mentioned quote-unquote boots on the ground, referring to U.S. troops' presence. However, he actually scaled that back. So he was interviewed by Fox News, which asked with a lot of MAGA supporters concerned about another U.S. involvement.
Yes.
And Trump actually said as president, he can give assurances that the U.S. will not be sending troops on the ground. However, he did mention that the U.S. may provide air support, so physically not on the ground. And then in the second part of the meeting, which is where we left off, Trump actually stepped out to speak to Russian President Vladimir Putin for about 40 minutes. Trump made the call. And he stated at that point he has begun arrangements for a meeting between Putin and Zelensky, and then later a trilateral meeting.
Yes.
And then Zelensky, upon leaving the White House, said no date has been confirmed for future talks. However, that the talks will continue between the two countries.
Yes. So what do we know about the security guarantees? Any other details?
Right. So as Zelensky was leaving the White House, he said that the security guarantees could include a $90 billion deal between Kyiv and Washington for U.S. weapons, including aviation systems, anti-missile systems, and so on.
Yes.
And Zelensky said that a deal could be coming within the next 10 days. However, another key point was any possible territorial concessions, meaning Ukraine giving up land or Russia giving up land. Zelensky said that he showed Trump a map of Ukraine, and that's kind of become a major point covered by the press in the past 24 hours.
Yes.
And he said that with this visual aid, he stressed that Russia has managed to occupy less than 1% of Ukrainian territory in the last 1,000 days. And apparently this came as news to the White House and apparently helped to swing Trump's mood on this point.
Okay.
So overall, definitely a toned down, calmer meeting compared to last February. Some outlets have even called this jovial, meaning the mood was very light. However, the Kremlin going to Russia at this point, they played down the perspective of a summit with Zelensky, and Trump did admit that conflict will be a tough one to resolve. So they're going to find out about Putin in the next couple of weeks and that he may not want to make a deal.
So a little bit of kind of walking back some of the first comments that emerged. But, well, thank you for covering all the top news stories. And, of course, we'll check in with you in hour number 2. Thank you, Haley.
See you in a bit.
And we are ready for a little song break. So this is Superstar by 이한철.
지난 날 아무 계획도 없이 여기서 울러왔던 너 좀 머리둥절한 표정이 예전 나와 같아 모습은 까무잡잡한 스포츠맨 오직 그것만 해왔던 두렵지만 설레임에 시작에 네가 있어 괜찮아 잘 될 거야 너에겐 눈부신 미래가 있어 괜찮아 잘 될 거야 우린 널 믿어 의심치 않아 너만의 살아가야 할 이유 그게 무엇이 됐든 후회 없이만 산다면 그것이 슈퍼스타 괜찮아 잘 될 거야 너에겐 눈부신 미래가 있어 괜찮아 잘 될 거야 우린 널 믿어 의심치 않아 널 힘들게 했던 일들과 그 순간에 흘렸던 땀과 눈물을 한 잔에 마셔버리자 괜찮아 잘 될 거야 너에겐 눈부신 미래가 있어 괜찮아 잘 될 거야 우린 널 믿어 의심치 않아 3, 4 너만의 인생의 슈퍼스타
It's time for Now Next. We have Lian in the studio. Good morning.
Good morning.
So, summery, how are you?
It is summery. I'm good. How are you?
Pretty good, pretty good. I do want to get your take on our text topic today.
Yes.
So here we go. What is a hidden gem in Korea? Something that you might want to share with people who have never been or maybe they're planning to visit.
Visit Korea from abroad.
Abroad.
What is a hidden gem in Korea?
Oh.
Is it so bad if I talk about
Yes. No. We want your honest truth.
Beauty shopping, which is
What's so bad about that? Yeah.
plastic surgery.
You mean
That's
K
what
medicine?
I've been into. That's what I've been into recently. And to be honest, I haven't done many things till my age. But I'm now getting into a little bit of a
things that you're procedures.
tweaking my face here and there and seeing
필요가
how.
없는데 왜?
근데 이제 조금 이게 왜 다 이렇게 난리는지를 모르겠네. You know what? Every hospital you go to these days, it's full of foreigners, tourists.
Yes.
And I didn't realize until now. After I got the procedures, it's like that's why all the tourists they come to Korea for the food, for the culture, and then they stop by those
K-beauty
clinics
medicine.
to get a little bit of a upgrade in their face. But, is that a hidden gem? Maybe it's a very obvious one for a lot of people, but it's something that I recently got discovered.
Interesting. Well, thanks for sharing. We're going to get into our main topic for now and next. So what are we going to talk about today?
All right, so like always, I want to start off with a question for you, Catherine.
Okay, here we go.
I don't know how much of a drinker you are, but if you're walking into a 편의점 late at night,
Okay.
and you're thinking, I want to relax a little bit with a bit of alcohol.
I want to get drunk.
Yes.
Okay.
Would you go for the traditional strong 20-degree soju, or would you go for a lighter option? Because these days, even soju comes with a lighter, healthier version.
I've seen the zero everything.
Zero everything. Now the
Right.
the dosages are getting lower and lower. So they have like all these different kinds of highballs, and what would you go for? What is your type?
Okay, so I'll be honest, I'm not much of a drinker.
Yes.
However, I've seen some of the cute little packaging that comes with like flavored, like very low alcohol content kind of beverages, adult beverages, right?
Right.
So I've tried a couple, and some of them are like really like kind of fruity.
Yes.
And
how low are you talking about in terms of
low.
fruit? Like not even.
I wouldn't
not
say
even
they're-
soju, like for
Yeah.
like 3% or 4% range.
So I
Because
don't
those
go
are
for
my
the soju,
favorite.
right? But it's more like, yes, just like flavored 음료수,
like
with
you can barely
a tiny
tell.
bit of alcohol.
That's my favorite too.
Right.
I purchased something at 편의점. It looks so fruity and delicious.
And so
It's
pretty,
like,
right?
I don't want to get drunk. I just want to,
Yeah.
Well, I do a little bit, but with a good flavor. And I looked at it, the label, and it's at 3%,
3%.
which is why I loved it. I'm not a heavy drinker, so.
But did it kind of get you in a relaxed mood?
Yes. It's much better than just drinking soda pop.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That song is in my head.
Yes.
Yes. So the majority of the younger MZ generation, they're going for this low dosage of alcohol. That's kind of becoming the story of today's drink-on culture.
Sure.
The days when we all thought, soju has to be at least 20 degrees of alcohol.
Yes.
That's going away. It's all about 저도주. 저도주, which in English is low alcohol drinks. And we're not just talking about soju, we're also talking about beer, distilled liquors, even cocktails. They're all slimming down in alcohol content. And, it's kind of a part of the global wave of people trying to drink lighter and drinking less. And so let's just talk about soju first. Not long ago, the average bottle of soju was 19 to 20 degrees.
Yes.
Guess how the average is? It's low as 16. So they dropped
Just even
by
with the regular
4 degrees.
soju.
Yes,
Okay.
if you average out all the soju out there now, it's 16. And we know the major brands like 참이땡. They continue to drop the degree to 16.5 to 16, and 진땡 as well. They're shaving off their alcohol degrees.
Content, right?
Yes.
Right.
So the interesting thing is, historically, if we look at the dosage of alcohol in soju, they've been moving downward decade by decade. So in the 1960s, it was as high as 30 degrees.
30? That's like, isn't that like vodka?
I know, 30 degrees
30 to
is
40 is like
intense.
vodka, right? Whoa.
And then 70s, it was brought down to 25. When we hit the 2000s, about 20, which is what our generation, right? When we used to be in our 20s. Now it's
Right.
15.
Right. So Leslie has a question. Does degree mean percent? And yes. And
yes.
sometimes I think in English we call it proof, like 40 proof.
Oh,
or 30
right.
proof, So just in case you're wondering, Leslie, that's what it means. Like
Yes,
the
yes.
percentage of alcohol
Degree means,
in
yes,
the
percentage.
whole beverage itself. the drink.
I did feel awkward to keep on saying degree, but that is the correct
in
terminology,
Korean, like
right?
it's like 뭐 16도라고는 하는데 don't they?
Yeah,
yes.
16도,
Right.
right? But in English we don't.
It's like percent or proof. Yes.
Okay. Interesting.
Yes.
All right. So pretty much, in the timing of all this,
Yes.
percentages becoming lower, it's not just random. It comes as part of the big trend of healthy pleasure. We've been talking about it almost every week. The mix of health and pleasure that's becoming kind of the dominant lifestyle trend these days.
Yes.
The younger Koreans, younger generation, they want to drink without feeling weighed down the next morning. They don't want any hangovers. So, which is why they're opting out for these lower percentage alcohol drinks.
Yes.
And it's the same story basically in the beer market as well. We've talked about this as 0% alcohol, 0.0%
Yes.
맥주.
Like 무 alcohol.
Yeah,
like,
무 alcohol.
무 this, 무 that.
That's been quite popular for a long time. The newer story is basically soju's kind of, going that same pathway. But here's what's also interesting.
Yes.
I've been into a wine meeting last weekend.
Yes.
And everyone, they were younger than me, like half of the members there.
Yes.
They all had this 숙취해소제 in some kind, like a jelly form or like the
little
가루 같은 건데 그 알맹이처럼 생긴 거 있어요.
Right.
So I was like, do I have to have one of these to be in trend?
Gen Z.
환입니다. 네, 환 폼으로 나오는 숙취해소제도 있더라고요, 요즘. And all
you
of them
take it
have
beforehand, right?
I did not know because I have been out of the drinking scene for so long ever since I have got kids. And they're like, are you a heavy drinker? Are you good with drinking? I'm like, no, but I want to learn wine and I'm so scared of today because there was like 20 bottles and I don't know if I can handle. And they're like, 이거 먹어야 된다고. So
이거 꼭 읽어야 돼요. 그리고 중간에 초코 우유 맛있는 거 국물. I didn't know what this was.
Does it help with the alcohol? Hangover.
Because this is so sad. My daughter posts on Insta. 뭘 자꾸 초코 우유를 자꾸 올리고 뭘 하는 거야. I was like, so the next day I was like, are you like into chocolate milk now? She goes, no, mom. She's like, it's for the hangover. I was like, 미안. 그러니까 선배가 이걸 사주고, and then now she's so to her 후배들,
right.
she gifts them the choco 우유.
Oh my, I did not
the
know.
one with the little cute character, yeah.
Right. So she was not being the innocent little girl that you were thinking. 초코 좋아하는 우리 딸이 아니라.
아니었어요.
조금 그 다음날 살려고.
그러니까 살아남아야 된다고.
엄마 이것도 몰라?
Like kind of like that. I was like, excuse me. But yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that. But in the middle of the wine drinking mo임, people were eating ice cream, chocolate ice cream. So I guess maybe it's kind of in line with
thing. I don't know.
Trying to get.
You and I were both like so not in the know.
I was just like, wow, 요즘 이런 거 다 먹나 봐요. 이렇게 했죠.
So how was it going to the 모임? Like was it?
It was so fun.
재밌겠다.
Because can we sidetrack a little?
Yeah, just a little.
Sidetrack. I don't know how to drink wine, but there were all these stories and behind it. And I didn't. The important thing is I didn't get a hangover after I ate that 환.
Yes, the 환.
그 환을 먹었어요. 괜찮았고. So the reason why I'm talking about this is because a lot of people are now choosing low percentage of alcohol drinks, but also this hangover cure is becoming part of the drinko culture, like a ritual, because no one really loves being hangover the day after.
Oh no! Right.
So a lot of people are thinking instead of the old mindset of like drink hard, suffer later, who cares? Like life goes on. It's more like let's drink light and let's recover smarter. It's becoming kind of the new trend.
I mean, back in my day, it was all about the soulmate bombs
we would pride ourselves in like
binge, like all night bingers, right?
That's what we were all showing off with each other. Like
not
그렇게
good.
마시는 거지. 근데 now people are very health aware. So that's the new trend. They're
Layla
smarter.
says 술자리에서 초코에 땡 플러팅도 있어요. 플러팅.
하나 그 좋아하는 사람한테만 하나 밑에서 테이블 슬쩍 이렇게 주는 건가요?
몸 챙기세요.
괜찮으면.
Okay.
We love these stories because it's never gonna happen.
Exactly.
In our lives.
We can live through our Gen Zs out there. Yes.
Oh.
So what else is trending on this front?
All right. So what's next? We have now entered the era of quick commerce, which is basically 1 hour commerce. Mm-hmm. Remember when same day delivery was so revolutionary?
Yes.
Like 일일 배송 이게 된다고?
Like so good.
Right. Now people are saying, that's too slow. They need things in an hour. Within an hour. So basically all these major retailers like Homepool thing.
Yes.
They're partnering with major delivery application companies to basically provide 1 hour delivery.
1 hour?
1 hour delivery. Wow. That's
only
crazy,
in Korea.
right?
Yes.
Only in Korea.
Seriously.
So we're talking about 다이땡. 다 있는 곳들도.
Yes. Right.
Everything is 1 hour. They're partnering up with these delivery application websites. And we're thinking, okay, so we can get stationery. We can do grocery shopping. But they're also partnering with flower shops. Butcher shops. Is that what's it called?
정육점?
정육점.
Really?
So you can get... Or even pet supply stores. They're basically expanding everywhere.
So basically everything that you could previously you would get on Kuteng, like say for next day.
Exactly.
It's now like within the hour.
Exactly. Within the hour with your local marts where you would go out. 거기 들렸다가 이거는 사고 가야지 했는데 그것 또한 안 해도 된다는 거잖아요, 이제. So you get your fresh flowers, fresh meat, pet supplies, and so on around your local area in just within an hour.
Wow.
So the range continues to expand. They're trying to include like bookstores and even electronic shops. I feel like we're never going to need to go outside and shop
We're
at all
just going to be like introverts and stay home and be lazy and just have everything delivered to us.
Exactly. 그냥 사람 만나러 나가거나 안 쇼핑은 I feel like it's becoming a thing of the past.
Right.
So according to market projections, Korea's quick commerce market is expected to reach nearly 5 trillion won this year and close to 6 trillion by 2030. And this is again part of a global movement where there's becoming this huge race between platforms to provide quick and quicker delivery services.
I mean, I like the convenience.
Yes.
And then today's Wednesday, but yesterday we had Bonnie on. I wonder what Bonnie would say about like all the emissions, about like, just everything within the hour. Do we really need everything like right now?
I know. I feel like eye shopping. I love eye shopping.
Oh, I like going out and perusing, window shopping,
exactly.
and like when you say eye shopping, I know it's like Konglish, right? Eye shopping.
Eye shopping is Konglish. I didn't know.
우리 애들이
I've
뭐라고
been here
하잖아요.
for too long.
엄마 눈알 왜 사러 가? I didn't even think about it.
Oh, eye shopping for eyes.
For eyes, like that's what they first said.
Is that a Korean?
It's a Korean thing.
It's a Korean thing.
Window shopping.
Oh, window shopping.
Oh,
yes.
We've been away from the U.S. so long.
Yes, I would totally. I can
English.
imagine meeting my American friend and be like, "Eye shopping, let's go eye shopping." They're like, "What?
Are we buying some shades or glasses?"
I'm like, I'm from Korea.
아니, so like I've been here for so long that when they pointed out, I'm like,
confused.
맞네, that's Konglish. And yes.
Yes. So, in continuation of the quick commerce, and of course, we know the big company Kuteng.
Yes.
They've been the company that's been really
front runner, yeah.
yes, driving this push for a faster and faster delivery, and they're also joining in this movement as well as they're like I said before, they're partnering with local butcher shops and like golf store shops to provide even. Not even 1 hour. They have this new thing where it's 30-minute delivery. Can you imagine?
What do you need from the golf store that you need in 30 minutes?
Thinking, these delivery men, are they safe? Is their life at stake? Because 30 minutes, that's like the clock is ticking.
Right now.
Yeah, so I guess they're trying to really, move up the game with this 30-minute delivery as well.
Yes. Well... we're going to call it a wrap for today.
Yes.
But thank you for bringing us two really, right now trends that we probably, some of you already know about, but some of us don't. So thank you, and we'll check in with you next week.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right. So some of you, that was a whirlwind, right, of just lots of trends. And we're going to get to this song. This is a throwback from the past, I think. 빙글빙글 by Nami. I'll be back at 8.
부산영어방송.
기업체 사장님들 아직도 직영으로 식당 운영하고 계십니까? 위탁급식과 도시락 전문 기업 더 좋은 푸드에 맡겨보십시오. 운영비 절감 효과 확실합니다. 식대는 협의 후 맞춰드립니다. 지역 부산 경남 문의 전화 051-784-0877.
한국전쟁 당시 우리를 먼저 도운 에티오피아 6천여 명의 군인들은 자신들의 월급을 모아 부모 잃은 아이들을 위해 고아원이라는 고아원도 세워주었습니다. 그러나 지금 에티오피아는 위기에 처해 있습니다. 끊이지 않는 내정과 기후재난으로 대부분의 의료시설은 파괴되었고 의약품도 부족해 간단히 치료할 수 있는 질병으로 사망에 이르는 상황입니다. 바로 지금이 우리가 에티오피아에 진 빚을 갚을 때입니다. 지금 전화해주세요. 후원 문의 080-982-0119 국제구조위원회.
깨끗한 공기, 편리한 교통, AI로 연결된 세상까지 일상의 모든 순간 그 중심에 과학이 있습니다. 작은 호기심이 세상을 바꾸고 불가능을 가능으로 만드는 힘, 과학. 부산이 과학기술 혁신도시로 도약하고 있습니다. 과학기술, 산업, 고등교육이 파동치는 혁신도시 부산. 과학으로 한 걸음 앞서가는 부산이 대한민국의 미래를 이끕니다. 변화와 도약을 이끄는 중요한 한 걸음. 일상에 보이지 않는 곳까지 새로운 가능성을 찾아갑니다. 비스텝, 비더스텝. 이 캠페인은 부산의 과학기술, 산업, 고등교육 혁신을 선도하는 부산과학기술고등교육진흥원이 함께합니다.
혹시 지금 운전 중이신가요? 어린이 교통사고 피해자 수는 지난 3년 평균 약 9만 명. 특히 어린이 보호구역 안전 기준이 강화된 이후에도 어린이 보호구역 내 사고는 지속적으로 발생하고 있습니다. 스쿨존에서는 반드시 시속 30km 이하 서행, 스쿨존 내 불법 주정차 금지, 차량 출발 전 앞뒤 좌우 살피는 습관으로 어린이가 안전한 도시를 만듭니다. 참, 운전 중 휴대전화 사용은 모두에게 위험합니다. 우리 모두를 위한 교통안전, 나부터 실천하면 모두가 안전해집니다. 어린이가 안전하게 뛰어놀 수 있는 부산. 아이 키우기 좋은 도시는 우리 모두의 미래이자 희망입니다. 이 캠페인은 어린이가 안전한 부산을 만드는 은행, BNK 부산은행과 함께합니다.
김밥가게 박 사장님도, 문구점 김 사장님도, 우리 부산의 경제를 움직이는 사람들. 우리 동네 작은 가게로 향하는 발걸음이 우리 부산의 경제를 키워가는 한 걸음입니다. 부산 방송광고 발전 협의회.
The time is now 8 o'clock.
It's now 8 o'clock. Welcome back, everybody. This is our number 2 of Morning Wave in Busan. This is Spotlight News. 2 dead in Mugunghwa train crash. 2 subcontracted workers with Korea were killed and 5 others were injured yesterday when a Mugunghwa passenger train hit them in Cheongdo. The workers were inspecting structures on a hill near the railway when the train struck the 7 workers from behind. The authorities said that the workers may not have heard the electric-powered train. Labor Minister Kim Young-hoon said that such accidents should never happen and ordered for a thorough investigation into the case and oversight of the recovery process. Ex-Interior Minister Lee Sang-min indicted under detention. Former Minister of Interior Lee Sang-min will stand trial while in detention for his alleged role in former President Yoon Suk-yeol's martial law declaration. The special counsel led by Cho Eun-suk said yesterday that they have indicted Lee for his alleged key role in insurrection, abuse of authority, and perjury. Lee is the second cabinet minister in the Yoon administration to be indicted under detention in the insurrection case following ex-defense minister Kim Yong-hyun. The special counsel yesterday also summoned and questioned former Prime Minister Han Duck-soo as a suspect. Special Counsel summons Kim Gun-hee for tomorrow. The Minjugi Special Counsel has summoned former First Lady Kim Gun-hee tomorrow after she submitted a written explanation for her absence for the summons scheduled for today. The Special Counsel is expected to question Kim on bribery allegations surrounding the Shaman Gunjin and the Unification Church. In the previous session earlier this week, the council reportedly presented a voice recording of Kim discussing stock trading with an employee at an asset management firm in 2009 as evidence of her knowledge of the Deutsche Motors stock manipulation scheme. Kim is insisting that she knows nothing about stock trading. President Lee Jae-myung meets with corporate leaders ahead of U.S. summit. President Lee Jae-myung met with top business leaders yesterday, thanking them for their work in the trade negotiations with the U.S. and asked them to create concrete results in the upcoming trip to the U.S. President Lee invited Samsung Electronics Chair Lee Jae-yong, LG Group Chair Gu Kwang-mo, Hyundai Motors Vice Chair Jang Jae-hoon, and Doosan Group Vice Chair Park Ji-won and others for a 2-hour meeting where he emphasized the need to work together to turn the current crisis into an opportunity. The business leaders expressed hopes for the upcoming summit between Lee and U.S. President Donald Trump in protecting both the national and corporate interests, said the presidential office. Israel demands release of all hostages amid ceasefire talks. Israel is demanding that Hamas release all 50 hostages in Gaza after it said it will deliver a response to mediators on whether to accept a new ceasefire plan. The proposal presented by Qatar and Egypt would have Hamas release about half the hostages. While Israel has not rejected it, the government said that things have changed, threatening an imminent new offensive to seize Gaza City. The Israeli cabinet is expecting to approve the military plans to occupy Gaza City as part of Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's plans to capture all of Gaza. And this was Spotlight News. It's time for Waga. Haley's back in the studio. Welcome back.
Hello.
Yes. Well, you know our first story. This is such an unfortunate one. Not a great one. Well, the authorities are on the search for a missing firefighter who was a part of the rescue efforts at the Itaewon crowd crush.
Right. So I do have to give you some trigger warning. We're going to be potentially talking about suicide, although the case hasn't been concluded yet. So please be warned. So it's been 10 days since this firefighter went missing after having left a conspicuous note apologizing to his loved ones. So the 30-year-old firefighter was at the scene back in 2022 at the Itaewon crowd crush. He afterwards was diagnosed with depression and apparently had been under treatment. So he gave an interview with the press at the time of the crowd crush about how overwhelming it was for him emotionally to have to carry the victims to this, it was called the black zone at the time. And so what happened now, fast forward to what's going on right now. So this was the morning of August 10th when he was driving very early in the morning. He passed Namincheon toll gate. This is the last known whereabouts. He parked his car on the shoulder of this road and disappeared. And his cell phone was found on a road nearby his abandoned car. So the police and firefighters have been searching the area and anywhere else he could be with dozens, actually over 100 officers and search dogs for the past 9 days. Search is expected to resume today. The police said, however, because they haven't had any clues, including his cell phone or credit card usage, it's been hard to trace him down.
Yes. And there are reports of other firefighters struggling after this tragedy,
Right.
though.
Unfortunately, this isn't a singular case. According to an exclusive report from 한겨레, Saturday, it actually interviewed another firefighter, a 48-year-old rescue worker from who has a special ops background. And he described himself as, at least he thought he was immune to the psychological impact. However, he too was dispatched to the Itaewon scene in 2022 and said that he'd been struggling after the tragedy. Like the first firefighter, he was also in charge of moving the bodies afterwards. So he actually took a year off and then returned, but PTSD caught up with him and he wound up quitting. However, in the process of him quitting, he apparently filed for work-related time off.
Yes.
But he was denied because at least the authorities back then didn't see a correlation between his PTSD and his job.
Really?
Which is eyebrow-raising,
yes.
clearly. So according to then DP lawmaker Oh Young-wan in 2023, data from fire agencies show that there were over 1,300 firefighters who were being treated for trauma after serving at the Itaewon site. So officials say apart from what happened at the very beginning, there wasn't much follow-up and treatment for the firefighters. And then there's kind of a culture of hiding it or sweeping it under the rug. And they also felt bad culturally because there were so many direct victims and the bereaved families. They felt bad about speaking up about their suffering because they felt it was less than, which is, of course, clearly not.
Right. And we can never gauge someone's trauma. So.
Right. And it's heartbreaking to see that those who were dispatched to offer help and help with the recovery are now suffering.
Well, we, of course, are hoping and praying that he is found. But thank you for that story. And, of course, the follow-up. Next, the government is set to be working on plans to introduce legalization of the so-called abortion pill.
Right, or pregnancy termination medication.
Yes.
So legalization of abortion itself has been a long-standing issue in South Korea, and we have been in this perpetual gray area.
Yes.
So a little bit of background. The Constitutional Court 6 years ago struck down the criminalization of abortion. However, then it is up to the National Assembly to pass bills that sets the parameters of what would consider legal abortion.
Right.
That has not happened. So in this absence, medication like mifepristone and misoprostols that would induce medical abortions, they have been making rounds in the market. So this medication, keep in mind, is legal in about 100 countries globally.
Okay.
However, this has not been approved for usage in South Korea. So that makes any prescription or distribution in the country illegal.
Okay.
So under the current law, that's because pregnancy terminations are limited to surgeries and operation. So abortions are allowed up to 24 weeks, but only for limited reasons like sexual assault.
Okay.
However, in the last year, 741 cases of illegal online distribution of these drugs have been busted, and over 3,200 in the last 5 years. So the government is said to be in the works of legalizing such medication as their kind of mid to long-term policy task.
I see. However, some groups have voiced their opposition to this.
Right. So a solidarity of 68 groups, including religious groups and even the KMA, the Korean Medical Association, they issued a joint statement opposing the legalization of these so-called abortion pills. So it really depends on which group you're looking at. They do have different agenda. Religious groups opposing this for ethical reasons, and then the medical groups for potential side effects, that it is just not studied enough.
Okay.
For one, religious groups brought up the rights to life of the fetus. The group said that South Korea overall, it's facing this ultra-low birth rate and weakening of family values, and there's a need to educate the younger generation on the values of life and try to recover its dignity and the ethics.
Okay, well, there you have it. The debate on this rages on, I guess. All right, up next, an apartment complex is apparently requesting that parcel delivery workers pay to get into their apartment complex. What?
Yeah.
Really?
By the way, there is a conclusion, and it has ended well, but yeah.
Okay.
So there was this online community post saying that there is an act of 갑질, so like it's abuse of power, by an apartment, demanding that the parcel delivery workers, 택배기사, pay a 5,000 won toll, I suppose, each month. Why? It's a great question. According to the Post, the Residents Association pushed this policy to have delivery workers pay 5,000 won per month to go through the apartment gate, the communal entrance.
Okay.
On top of a 50,000 won deposit for the card key that they would need to tag to open the gate.
Oh.
Again, they're doing their job of delivering packages ordered by this apartment's residents. So
For their convenience.
For their convenience. So let's just get that out of the way.
Okay.
So this writer apparently received a message from their parcel delivery driver who told them, by the way, this is what your apartment resident association is demanding. I can't pay that, just, on principle, I'm assuming.
Yes.
So the parcel delivery driver asked the resident, can you give me the new passcode? Because apparently the resident association changed the passcode and then implemented this new policy of a monthly toll.
Okay.
So the writer inquired with the management office, basically the security guards. Well, they said because the residents association decided to do it and informed them so, they're also just doing their job, being what they're told.
Okay.
So the writer said maybe having a deposit, returnable deposit, would be understandable for the card key because, it does cost money to tag those cards and keep them. However, it is unreasonable to have these delivery workers pay a monthly fee. The writer said it's against common sense. They're just doing their job. Why would you pay to do your job?
Okay.
And the writer said they're bringing up this case about their own apartment community to publicize it because she said this sort of behavior should be subject to criticism. So we do have a conclusion because the netizens were like, well, that's ridiculous was the nicest way to put it. So upon this public uproar, Suncheon City, and this is where it happened, the city actually visited the apartment and then sent out a public notice to all the apartments in its jurisdiction recommending them to not charge delivery drivers a fee. Upon this, the apartment issued an apology and stated that they actually changed the passcode because there were so many solicitors and people going in and putting up like bulletin board posts without permission. But then they were not thoughtful in thinking this through and said that they won't be charging the drivers.
I understand if they changed the passcode, but they did ask for 5,000 won per month.
Yeah.
So I don't know how
I don't know how much of this story I'm buying, but at least no one's paying. But
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Next.
It's not great.
Yeah, not a great story. For our final story, a famous Swiss watch brand has pulled its ads following accusations of racism.
This is also not a great story. So, humanity do better generally.
Yes.
So we're talking about the brand Swatch. The very famous brand has apologized and they have removed an ad with the model pulling the corners of his eyes. You know the gesture I'm talking about. We all know the gesture I'm talking about. So this ad has a model who looks to be of at least somewhat of Asian descent. He's pulling on the corners of his eyes with two fingers and on the more visible wrist is wearing a watch from that company.
I have a question though. Why?
I don't know. It's a great question.
Why do you need to pull your eyes?
I don't know. From an aesthetic, marketing, any perspective, how is that helping with the brand's value? I don't know. So Chinese netizens have accused the company of racism and others have called to boycott the company and its products, which isn't just Swatch, it's Longines and Tissot, among others. So following this, Swatch has apologized for, quote, any distress or misunderstanding the ad may have caused. By the way, China is one of Swatch's biggest markets, but it's experienced a slump in sales. And last month, Swatch reported an 11% drop in sales of the first half and attributing this to the sluggish demand in China. So again, not a great look.
No.
Not great.
We're going to call it a wrap for today's Waggly News, and we'll check in with you tomorrow. Thank you, Haley.
Have a great day.
All right, I'll be back with your updated traffic and weather. It's now 8:15 on this Wednesday morning. It's time for your traffic report. There's an accident on the Dongso overpass going away from the city right by the Busan Metropolitan Corporation, Busan 도시공사. On 충렬대로, it looks busy from pier number 5 to pier number 3. And also on 충렬대로 from Minam intersection to Manduk Tunnel number 2. It's slow moving on Yeonsu-ro from Mangmi to Suyong intersection in both directions. Currently, it is 28 degrees Celsius under sunny skies here in Busan, with a daytime high to go up to 33 today. Busan City is under a special heat wave report, 폭염특보. Across the nation, cloudy and raining in parts of the central area. Showers forecast for parts of the capital area, Gangwon, Chungcheong, and Gyeongnam. Still hot, though, across the country with a daytime high expected to go up to 36 degrees in some areas. This was your traffic and weather. It's time for your special interview for this Wednesday morning. President Lee Jae-myung faces two major diplomatic agenda in the coming days. From August 23rd to 24th, he will visit Japan to meet with Japanese Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba. And then immediately after, he's going to travel to Washington, D.C. for his first summit with U.S. President Donald Trump. This is the first since taking office in June. With high expectations surrounding these back-to-back meetings, we're going to explore the key issues that will shape discussions between and among South Korea, Japan, and the United States. So joining us once again is Professor Kim Byung-ju, former diplomat and affiliate professor at Hankuk University of Foreign Studies. Hi, Professor. How are you?
Good morning. I'm great. Happy to join you and happy to join the Busan audience. Of course, this is nationwide as well, through the internet, worldwide. Thank you very much for having me.
Oh, thank you, Professor. We do appreciate it. Well, we're first going to focus on the summit between the ROK, South Korea, and Japan. That's coming up August 23rd to 24th. So what do you expect to be the main agenda items? Which specific areas of cooperation do you think are going to be emphasized?
In terms of big main theme, it will be very much focused, but at the same time, in terms of specific issue agendas, it could be very much a wider scope. What I mean by that is the main theme focus will be the future, the way I understand it. Korea-Japan has had challenges in managing the bilateral relationship for the last several decades, with the focus on the past. And now, more than ever before, with all this changing dynamics of geopolitical situation in the world, Japan and Korea, I think the leadership in each country, there is a higher awareness than ever before for the need for cooperation between the two countries. So again, more than ever before, I think the heads of the two nations will focus on the future, how the two countries can help each other, work with each other, and promote national interest for both nations. And so that's going to be the main one. And with particular reference with that, based on that, the specific issue items could include different things. But first thing that comes to my mind is, of course, the trade. Trade is pretty much in our minds these days. And with the challenging situation in Washington, CPTPP, the regional free trade agreement that Japan has been spearheading together with other countries. 11 different countries has pushed ahead without the United States, actually. And recently, even interestingly, this is a Pan-Pacific area focused free trade agreement. But even the UK in Europe has joined, and the number has gone up to 12. And so Korea joining CPTPP will be one of the important points. This this whole body of countries promoting free trade has been in motion since 2017. And Japan, again, as I said, is one of the main initiators and prime movers behind this, and Korea wants to join it. And so that's going to be one of the important topics to be discussed, I can imagine.
Yes.
And several other things, such as setting up, what do you call it, the fast track entries into airports for each citizens arriving in the other countries. Those kind of little things. And then there will be other long list of agendas here. But focused on the future, future trade and the future exchange of the people.
Yes.
And among other issues. Those are the issues we expect President Lee Jae-myung and Prime Minister Ishiba will be discussing probably during their meeting. This is the second time they're meeting. As we recall, they have met in Canada at the G7 meeting earlier. Right. So many eyes will be watching closely.
Absolutely. Professor, let me ask you this. How unusual is it for South Korea, the South Korean president, to make Japan maybe their first, overseas trip? As you mentioned, they've already met before. But, to Japan before visiting the U.S., is this unprecedented or is it okay? Is it usual? Is it protocol?
Absolutely unprecedented. And if we count from the very first one and on, President Lee Sung-man, for instance, I don't think President Lee Sung-man ever met with the head of state in Japan because we didn't have diplomatic ties. And so that's my understanding. I don't think it happened with Lee Sung-man. But Park Chung-hee is the one who took much great pain and effort to reestablish the ties, not because he liked Japan necessarily, but out of the necessity for getting economic development going here in Korea, and we were in need for help from Japan as well, and so he's the one who initiated this. So counting from Park Chung-hee, I don't recall any president in the past so far who had met with the head of state of Japan, Japanese prime minister, before they met with the U.S. president. So that's why this is the first time, in my recollection, this is happening. And it's been today, this year we are celebrating the 80th year of since the liberation from Japan, and then 60th year since we set up the diplomatic ties with Tokyo. So all the more, I guess, just side joke. It looks like it's China and North Korea who often take all these 10th anniversaries very, very seriously. But 80s, 60s, whatever. But let's do it. But taking those seriously here. This is a very meaningful year that Korea's president, for the first time, is meeting with the Japanese prime minister before a meeting with the U.S. president. This is important step in terms of what we've been calling shuttle diplomacy between Japan and Seoul. For years, we've been talking about shuttle diplomacy between Seoul and Tokyo all the time, but this is the really major step, signifying and making it very visible that Korea really cares about Japan. And all the more, Lee Jae-myung is a progressive president. So, his action this time means a lot more than even what conservative presidents like Yoon Suk-yeol or Park Geun-hye might have done. So it means even more because we have a reputation for progressive party here in Korea, having stance not as close to Japan in the past. But maybe we're opening a new chapter here.
Yes, we might. Can we turn our attention now to South Korea and the U.S., that summit, which is also coming up. So what are you expecting are going to be the main items? Is it all going to be about trade?
No. Trade is important. And, we had a White House agreement between Donald Trump and Korea's ministers of trade earlier. And of course, we have a list of other economic and business issues that needs to be further specified, such as how Korea is going to make the investment that we have promised and how we are going to strengthen our economic and industrial cooperation with the United States in how we're going to do that. We have to produce the details for those.
Yes.
But together with that, a very important part of this summit this time will be about national security, national defense.
Yes.
And what we are talking about this time is developing U.S.-Korea ties into that of comprehensive, future-focused, strategy-based relationship. What that means is a kind of like a new layout, new foundation, new structure of military cooperation. So far, the conventional form of this cooperation has been United States stationing their troops here in Korea,
right,
and adding to the conventional firepower here. And, by having a considerable size of U.S. troops, clear indication to North Korea that this is a serious extended deterrence, meaning that the United States treats South Korea as a part of its territory to defend, and all those kind of conventional, traditional steps that we have become familiarized with for the past several decades. But now with the rise of China and more than anything, with the new status for South Korea in terms of its military power.
Yes.
We don't have nuclear weapons, but in terms of conventional military power, generally, this is hard to measure, but generally the world recognizes that South Korea is number 5 in the world. And that's a very strong military power we possess. And along with that, we export, defense industry products to worldwide as well. So recognizing that status, and then also recognizing new need for U.S. to think about different ways of defending this part of the region, this region of the world, facing China's threat that they perceive, and what kind of role that U.S. troops in Korea should play, and it may be even reorganized and stuff. So that's going to be important item to discuss as well.
So on that note, do you think that wartime OPCON, that's going to be on the table as well?
Yes, wartime control of military control, of course. I cannot determine what the head of state will discuss, but I would expect that it could be included either at the summit or, for sure, it will be included in the ongoing dialogue, security dialogue between Washington and Seoul, for sure. And because for many reasons, but one of the reasons I can think of is this is one agenda that has been talked about for a long time, over a decade and even more, the way I remember it. And this is a question of different people can tackle this question from different angles, but the way I see it, it's a question of strengthening South Korea's own capability to defend itself. There have been progressive presidents in the past who have raised a question about, why is it that South Korea cannot command its military during the wartime? Rather, why do we have to subject our military to the command of the U.S. commander here? That is not proper, and that needs to be fixed. That's how the question began, but there has been toss and turns about the issue. Progressive presidents wanted to go ahead with it. Conservative presidents reversed it, saying, well, we want to keep the status quo and we want to keep the Korean military under U.S. command during the time of war. And so there have been such discussion, but the essence of this whole issue is about how quickly South Korea can actually further strengthen its military capability to defend itself. And this day and age where Trump is saying, yes, we are going to focus on make America great again. So you guys, countries around the world, and even our key allies, make your countries great again on your own, basically. So that message is very strong, and taking advantage of this timing, I think Korea should focus on really, even at a faster pace, focus on strengthening our own military capability. So that's why this issue will be included, and then should be included, and then we should take advantage of that timing.
Yes, indeed. And as we look forward to these two upcoming summits, Professor, obviously, former diplomats, so well-versed on everything and anything connected with these issues. What would you advise, if you could, the South Korean side, because these two summits are so important. So, in summary, what would you advise the South Korean side, the stance that should be taken?
I think with Japan, this is a very important opportunity because Yeshiba, more so than other prime ministers of Japan before, there have been a few prime ministers of Japan who had taken very much forthcoming steps in trying to strengthen Japan's ties with Korea before and showing extreme gestures of friendliness and accommodation towards Korea before, but I think Ishiba probably tops the list in terms of his stance toward Korea, and he's very forthcoming in terms of his commitment for making Korea and Japan closer. And after Ishiba, whenever his term ends, there may be other politicians who may come with stronger nationalistic stance.
Yes.
So we should take advantage of this great timing and really, lay out firm foundations for our own interest, for Korea's own interest, firm foundations of working together with Japan in order to further enhance our national security and further strengthen our economic partnership with Japan because U.S. status, the presence of U.S. in the global stage, and in this region, in terms of their military capability, presence, and economic presence, is fast shrinking. And so we have to fill the gap. And of course, we have to work with China and we have to work with Southeast Asia and all that. But at the same time, Japan is the one that we have to really strengthen our relationship further and fast. So I hope the summit will be used to do that kind of stuff. And the summit with Trump, of course, this is very, very important. And there's a long list of issues to be worked out. It's going to be very tough one for President Lee Jae-myung. I recently sat down with several of my American friends who were deeply involved in running the U.S. government in the past before, previous Trump administration as well as Biden administration and all that. They were confessing the point that nobody knows how Trump government is being run these days. Not even the key people on the top, except Trump, knows how decisions are being made. And they have a deep suspicion. All of my American friends have a deep suspicion that Trump himself does not seem to know how he's making his own decisions. So therefore, all the more, the challenge for President Lee Jae-myung is just paramount. And so we're just hoping that he's going to be as well prepared as our ministers of trade have shown their capability of in coming up with the recent trade agreement. And I'm sure President Lee will do even better, but it's going to be a very, very tough job.
Well, thank you so much for providing all your expertise and insight into these two upcoming summits. Thanks for your time. We appreciate it, Professor.
Thank you very much.
This was Professor Kim Byung-ju, and we talked about the implications of what we might expect in the upcoming two summits, Korea with Japan and Korea with the U.S. We're going to take a short song break. Here is 내 얘길 들어봐 by Papaya.
Situation, say one with the love. We go make two and one.
It's time for Work in Progress. And Jennifer is back in the studio with us. Let's say hi to her. Hi.
Hello.
How are you?
Good. It's still very hot.
It is. I mean,
it's mid-August, not October. I wish.
I wish it were October, but no. But in the morning, I have to say, I came extra early today. I had some stuff to do at the office. So I think I got here at 5-ish, which is an hour earlier than I normally do. But when I got into my car, and I was like, oh, it's not stifling hot even because for a while, even leaving so early, it was always really kind of stuffy hot.
Uh-huh.
But I was like, do I feel fall coming a little bit?
Early in the morning, yeah.
Just early in the morning, but not during the day. Like I said earlier, it's going to be in the 30s.
I shouldn't complain because I remember in winter I remember complaining about how cold it is.
I prefer winter at this point. Yes. But what's our topic for today for Work in Progress?
Okay, we are looking at a workplace trend that's been making waves on social media.
What is it?
Especially among younger professionals. It's called Bare Minimum Mondays.
Bare Minimum Mondays. I hope it means. 근데 뜻이 뭐예요? Bare minimum? Are you wearing clothes? You're not coming to work in a bikini, right? What does bare minimum mean?
Don't worry. We are properly dressed.
Okay. PD님 너무 좋아하시는데 I was like, 이게 무슨 뜻인지 알고 넘어가야죠. Bare minimum, no makeup? No clothing? What do you mean by bare minimum?
It's essentially the idea of starting your week by doing only the essential tasks on Monday. Only doing the bare minimum. No overloading yourself. No marathon meetings. No sprinting to catch up from the weekend. But properly dressed.
So you got your clothes on. 옷은 입고 출근해야죠. 큰일 나요.
The goal is to ease into the week, protect your mental energy, and avoid burning out before Friday.
Oh, so it's kind of like you're easing into the week, kind of a little bit you're putting your foot on the gas pedal a little bit, 살짝 일하기.
So you're starting slow.
Okay.
월요일에 정말 최소한만 하는 거죠.
But I wonder what the bosses think, though. I don't know.
The term was popularized by a content creator named Marissa Jo Mayes, who talked about how she used to start Mondays in a panic. Many of us do, right? Trying to clear every email, say yes to every request, and set unrealistic goals. That left her exhausted and unmotivated for the rest of the week. So she flipped the script, doing just the bare minimum on Mondays so she could pace herself better.
Well, you know what? I love the idea, but as the little birdie in the studio is reminding us, 왜 회의는 항상 월요일일까요? And I don't understand that either. Why is it always on Monday? What did we get done during the weekend? Were we supposed to be working? No, right? 근데 왜 꼭 월요일에
Yeah, we feel we always feel tired starting
Why not
Mondays.
a Tuesday? After you ease into Monday, and then you get a little bit of work done.
Maybe some people think that we are all refreshed after the weekend.
No, we're not.
But the reality is different, right?
아니요. So is this similar to quiet quitting? Because I know that was a trend for a while. It was a different.
That's an important distinction. It's not the same.
Okay.
Quiet quitting is often described as disengaging from extra responsibilities altogether. Doing only what's on your job description. But bare minimum Mondays, on the other hand, is about strategic pacing. You deliberately start to slow to maintain consistent productivity over the week.
Yes.
So think of it as a mental health tool rather than a long-term withdrawal.
Interesting. So it does make sense, right? It's more about maybe sustainability than kind of rebellion.
Yeah, it's not like I'm not going to work hard. I'm just going to do what's on my job description.
Yes. So we have a message from Souvenir who says, 그래서 저는 월요일에 제가 화요일에 저한테 넘겨서 엄청 고생했는데. 그랬어요.
And you leave it to your Wednesday and
it gets
Thursday.
pushed back, and then you become a procrastinator, and then your boss will not like you. So we get it.
Yeah.
So Mondays though. Mondays do have a reputation. We have a lot of alliterations from our listeners. Are terrific Tuesday, wonderful Wednesday. But Mondays, it's manic Monday, moody Monday.
Wednesday hump day.
Hump
right?
day. Today's wonderful Wednesday, hump day, right?
Yeah.
But like Monday has a bad reputation.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. But we should be careful not to generalize or label all younger workers as doing this. I mean, this is not bad, but not everybody is doing it. Not everyone participates in this trend. And for some, it's just a passing social media phase or trend. And but it has resonated because many workers, especially like post-pandemic, they are thinking how they manage their energy and workload.
Yes. But if we go back to the whole idea of why we kind of dislike Mondays, why? I mean, I don't know. Mondays can be stressful.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, there's research showing that workplace stress spikes on Mondays. It's sometimes called the Monday effect. We sometimes call it like Monday blue, right?
Yes.
Increased anxiety, lower mood, and even more heart attacks.
Really?
According to the research data. More
on
heart
Mondays.
Attacks. Yeah.
Okay.
Compared to other days of the week.
So can I tell my boss like, hey, I need to take it easy today. And I'm just going to do broadcasting like this and just whatever because I might have a heart attack. It's a health issue.
That may not work here. So for some, slowing down is a preventative measure.
Okay. For some.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there is criticism about this whole easing into Monday. No?
Yeah, exactly. Some worry it could be seen as a slacking off.
Yes.
Hurting team productivity. Imagine you're saying, I'm just slowing down. I'm not going to close this contract on Monday, or I'm not going to submit this report on Monday. But it's setting a tone of low effort for the rest of the team. Some people think it like this, especially in the fast-paced industries. Easing into Monday might not be practical if deadlines or emergencies are involved.
That's true. So I think it really depends on the industry.
Not everybody can do this.
Right. So in effect, is this hurting productivity or is it helping it?
Well, it depends on how it's implemented.
Okay.
If an individual uses Monday to focus on deep work, organize priorities, and recover from the weekend, it could actually improve productivity for the rest of the week. But if it becomes an excuse to disengage entirely, that's when team suffers.
Right, because most of us, we work in a group setting, not all, right, where you don't want to impact negatively the people around you. But what about for managers? How should they respond if they notice one of their team members kind of adopting this whole idea?
Trouble.
Yes.
First, it's important not to jump to conclusions. If somebody's output remains high overall, pacing their Monday might be a sign of good self-management. So it really depends on the output. Yes. Managers could also consider adjusting workloads, scheduling heavy meetings later in the week, like we had discussed before, or designating Monday mornings for planning instead of urgent tasks.
It sounds so sensible, but Tommy claims normally bosses, he works for the big electronics, he's like, normally bosses are thinking Monday morning meeting during the entire week. So Tommy goes to a lot of meetings on Mondays, yes. So I guess, for some industries, maybe not.
No.
A lot of meetings first thing in the morning, right?
Yeah, and every day.
Every day.
Every day, not just Mondays.
Are the meetings really useful? I do wonder sometimes.
No, yeah.
Right.
That's the thing,
So what you mentioned earlier, maybe if you can, pushing those meetings for maybe later on, and, just, it might seem like a sensible approach for some workplaces.
Yeah, that's exactly. And also, meetings these days, a lot of companies have meetings online. So you don't have to actually go there, be there.
Yes, that's good, right? Sometimes, yes.
So it's not bad. Monday morning may not be the most effective, but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, right?
So going back to the whole original premise, this whole idea of a bare minimum Monday. So it's about maybe doing, it's not about doing less forever, but maybe finding like the right timing or rhythm.
Yeah, exactly. And because trends like this are often a signal, not the whole story. It's like if a lot of employees feel the need to slow down on Mondays, it might mean the overall pace or workload is unsustainable.
Okay.
So addressing the root causes might be productive than simply criticizing the behavior.
Yes. So I guess for some, workplaces, they can adopt these like Monday, meetingless Mondays.
Yeah, but I'm afraid like some people may misuse this, like take advantage of this. Yeah.
So how, I guess you can kind of still adjust the system to make it fit into your workplace?
Yeah, but like we said before, not every industry. Because there's a sense of urgency on Mondays for some industries, right?
Yes. So if we had to wrap up and maybe give our listeners like a major takeaway from our discussion today, what would it be?
Okay, the bare minimum Mondays isn't about laziness. It's about managing your energy for the long game. Like think of it as a marathon. And while it is not for everyone or every industry, it's a reminder to check in with your workload and see if there's a healthier way to start the week.
Well, I don't know. Mondays are still I don't know, just the sound of Monday just does not ring happy for me, but I'm sure hopefully
especially after the long weekend, if
they're
you
the worst.
had long weekend.
Well, thank you for all the great insights, and we look forward to our next discussion. Thank you, Jennifer.
Okay, see you next week. Bye-bye.
All right, so with Jennifer, we discussed this whole idea of a bare minimum Monday. Keep your clothes on, maybe ease into work. But guess what? It's Wednesday, so we're well into the swing of things. We're going to end it with this song, You're My Girl by Kim Jo-han. Enjoy, and join me again tomorrow. Bye, everybody.
'Cause you are my girl, you are the one that I envision in my dreams. And when you're around, you can't express the way I feel inside. 'Cause you are the one, I didn't know that you would mean so much to me. Girl, you're in my heart, I'm so thankful you were here for me. You are my girl. My kind of girl. My kind of girl. When you walked into my life, girl, just one look and you took my heart. I didn't know that I could have these feelings for you. Oh. There's so much that I feel inside me. I can't believe how you make me feel. Nothing in this world could change my feelings for you. 'Cause you are my girl, you are the one that I envision in my dreams. And when you're around, I can't express the way I feel inside. 'Cause you are the one, I didn't know that you would mean so much to me. Girl, you're in my heart, I'm so thankful you were here for me. You are my girl. My kind of girl. My kind of girl. There's so much that I feel inside me. I can't believe how you make me feel. Nothing in this world could change